group consists of
Matthew.
Christopher Georges,
Demetria Byron.
and today we'll be working on disconnecting and sending back a computer.
I'm trying to click back on the reverb before you put it in.
Computer is shutting down.
Oh, sorry. So I was trying to.
We will be beginning by disassembling the PC. First step is to open a computer case. Some cases have screws, this one has a latch. So you're just going to pull the latch.
Here we have the RAM. You will have to unscrew it right here. The RAM, which stands for random access memory, or the temporary stored memory in there. So.
Okay, so we're going to install the RAM, and you need to make sure that the chips on the outside are facing the optical drive. It's hard to see. Oh, my fingers are not good for this. And you're going to push it down till you hear like a little snap, and then you're going to push these two white tabs on the side to make sure it's secure. And we're just going to do the other one. Just push it down into the slot. You're going to hear that snap. And just push up the side tabs.
Here we have our fan. Well, this cord here connects to the motherboard, which gives the fan power. And I will unscrew the fan right now. And the fan actually protects the heat sinks, which is right here, from cooling down from the heat. So it's a good. And I will now disconnect the cord from the motherboard, which connects to the power. Yeah. Well, we just unscrewed the heatsink. The heatsink protects the CPU. It just defers heat from the CPU. It helps it from getting hot. And this is where the fan comes out. It protects the heatsink, but the heatsink, it protects the CPU.
Okay, we're going to start with the hard drive, which there's a latch here where you just push forward and it will slip right out. Connected to the hard drive, there's a SATA cable and the power supply cable that's connected to the power supply. The SATA cable connects the hard drive to the motherboard. So we're going to take those out, both ends. And we'll take this out. This is also going to the power supply. Okay. Okay, now we're going to try to take the optical drive out, which is the CD and DVD player and recorder. Just really push it forward, but there is one cord. There is a cord, a cable, another SATA cable connected to the back of the optical drive, and there's a power cable connecting to the motherboard. And then you'll just pull. After you take the power one out, you're just going to pull the hard drive. the optical drive forward. The optical drive, first thing you want to do is to go ahead and put the optical drive back in. And what you're going to do is, as you're trying to slide the optical drive in, you will need to lift the lever on the side. You don't want to push it all the way in because you still need to connect the cables. I'm going to start with the SATA cable. It's connected to the optical drive, and we're going to bring it to the motherboard. They're all the same interface, so it really doesn't matter which one you use. And then you're going to connect one of the power supply sources, and it really doesn't matter which one you use. I'm just using this one because it's closer. Okay. Once that's connected, just slide it in and you'll hear it snap in.
And to put back the heatsink, make sure each holes are aligned with one another. And with a screwdriver, just go ahead and just screw everything back, align. You don't want to press on it too hard. So make sure that is screwed in. And again, the heatsink protects the CPU. It differs the heat and the CPU also. And once each screw is screwed in, comes the fan. And the same concept goes for the fan. You want to go ahead and make sure each holes are aligned with the fan. So I'll get my screws and make sure they're all aligned properly. And then I will start screwing.
I think so. I think we can get it in.
And now my colleague will plug in the power fan into the motherboard. There you go. Plug in.
Alright, check them out in the interest of time. You just want to make sure that after you screw these, you do not touch the motherboard with this chip. It's usually better if you have a wrist strap on, but since I do not have one, I'll be very careful. I went ahead and disconnected all the cords associated with the power supply to make sure everything's disconnected. Which I forgot one here. And when you're pulling it out, you gotta make sure you bend back these braces here that will allow you to pull the cords out. Now as you're pulling it out, you're gonna make sure you have to push this tab down so it slides right out, otherwise you'll be here for an hour like I was the first time. Trying to pull this out. It's always best if you haven't done the cords first, pull it out just like this, and then you have your power supply. You put it back in, make sure you line it with the brace first. Should slide right back in. Okay. Now after you got your power supply, we have our hard drive. And don't forget, when reconnecting your power supply, every single piece still needs power. From your fan all the way down to your optical drive. It's always easier to connect your power supply after you put in your optical drive. And there, we have the power supply. And don't forget the screw, put the screws back in. Whenever you're working with a computer, if you have extra screws, then you have a problem.
That's fine so far.
Turn on the computer.
It's already. I just put the face and everything on it.
Make sure it works.